All right, this is the Fivejoy BackCountry Shovel. Missed a few days of videos. Been trying to get them out more regularly. Hopefully I'll have spare time to do them really regularly in the near future. But I just caught a lag. Work, a lot of frustrations with work. So that really screwed me up. But I'm back on the bead now. This Fivejoy, this is part of it, but it was actually purchased separately. Of course, nothing is ever one unit because it doesn't make enough money. So basically, this is the what you would get if you would order this Fivejoy BackCountry Shovel. Now, I bought this basically because I like shovels. This channel originally was created as a metal detecting channel, and I will be doing some of it again as my retirement comes in. It's just that when they moved my office, the proximity to where I did my almost daily detecting, got a lot of exercise, just it wasn't there anymore. I'd have to drive across town now to get to that same spot, and I can't do that during the day. So basically it put everything on hold, and since I can't do much on the weekends, I have to do it during the day. I was able to get out of lunch and do a little metal detecting, which is fun. But let's get back to the world as it is now. I bought this as basically an adjunct to the toolkit in my van because you never know when you're going to need a shovel. Now this is a very, very tiny shovel, so I'm not exactly sure how helpful it would be in a somewhat emergency situation. What I do like about these little multifunction shovels, one of the reasons I like multifunction knives, or is the same reason, because this little knife, this is a pretty fierce looking little knife and pretty handy and relatively sharp for a production knife. You can always sharpen it up. I've got sharpeners out the wazoo, and the bottle opener, which is virtually unused in most cases, but if you have some more archaic type of containers, it's not too bad. And basically what I've got here is, I do like these little shovels and the way they work. I'm trying to do this without looking at the documentation, because who wants instructions on the shovel? Usually it means you can pull this down and then you can sort of change the attitude of the shovel here. This is more of a spade type attitude. So yeah, for instance, there was a reason you were trying to get mud away from your tires, or from the axle on your tires. If you then that would be what you could do. But you also have another couple of other attitudes like this, which makes it a bit of a pick form. Now this would be handy to get things started when you need to get to your tire, get to anything else, or dig somebody's front tire or back tire out of some mud. Then that's a pretty good little hacking position to be in, as long as you don't stick it in your tire. And it also has, see, I don't think it has does it have one more? I think yeah, it has one more. Never really figured out why this was handy. If you got an idea, let me know. I don't think, unless it's a self-defense tool of some kind. But as a regular, this I guess would be a more standard shovel. It would not be where you would scoop dirt necessarily, but it would be relatively handy. And I love these knives. These knives are very handy and relatively sharp. You should be able to just put them in like this. And this is the full length of the shovel, if I can get it on camera here. Full length of the shovel in its basic format, and this is my arm, so you can see it's a little bit longer than the bend in my arm, and I'm relatively tall. I'm about 6'3". I always say 6'2.5". I need to do what everybody else does and round up to make myself sound bigger. But so that's pretty cool, and you screw this thing up and you've got a pretty good tool. And these are foam padded, So, you know, if you are in areas where you're gonna have to use this a lot, then that would be pretty handy. Like I said, it's, you know, it'd be very handy if you're doing something, if you are melee technique, or if you are out in the field where you're gonna have to do some small holes for whatever odd reason, then this is pretty handy. Now, the reason I bought this other is because, you know, at this length, it's not exactly a leverage machine. So this I bought separately. Now, I've just looked at these, so I don't know if it's actually what I ordered. So basically, this will allow me to extend this shovel. Let's see if this is actually going to work. I'm going to put this in here. It's a little weird because it doesn't really fit the other one, but I'm going to try to take this one out. And for example, now, if this is what it's supposed to be, I should be able to put this in here. Yep, it fits. So I got lucky because it doesn't really have the same feel as the other bits and pieces, but it was supposed to be for this shovel. But you know, you never know until you get something. And I can put the knife, which is still be on the end, down here. Now that is actually a tolerable length shovel. I'm trying to figure out what 1, 2, 3, 4 feet. 1, 2, 3, about 4.5 feet, or 4 feet. So this would be pretty handy tool at this. You know, you can actually get leverage. So if you had to dig, you won't have to be putting all of your stress on your forearms. You can actually, you know, get a little leverage on it. So that would be pretty neat. And if you needed to use it for some other reason, for instance, to hack, you know, this extra length you've got here would make it a pretty good hacking tool, since you would get a little bit momentum with your swing, which when you have a longer device and a larger arc. So that would be a pretty nice thing to have. Sorry, I had to take this thing out of frame. I'm using this camera in a very limited type of function. For instance, you could take this, I was just saying, and you could have a pretty good leverage and a pretty long hack. So basically, that's why I've got this thing. I don't have a shovel in the van. I've got automotive tools out the wazoo, more than I know how to use. I'm actually not horrible at working on the van. I'm not a natural mechanic, so I'm not going to know what's going on, but I can follow directions and I can do basic stuff. I've changed timing belts on various cars. I had to work on the throttle on this one, and working on the throttle on a Ford, a 91 Ford, is a holy nightmare. I mean, it is a pain in the butt, because I had to replace the throttle position sensor. I had to take off the entire throttle body, and with a Ford, that is a pain in the behind. All right, I just want to give you a quick look at this shovel. This is the Fivejoy BackCountry Shovel. I'll put a link to it in the bottom if you think it'll be handy for you. I'm not going to give it a practical use right now, but when I do put it in practical use, it'll probably generate a video, since I'm trying to put out as many videos as I can, since I'll have more time in the near future, hopefully. And I just want to give you a quick run. So that is not bad. Now, on the back end here, let me pull it. There's one other additional thing here. This is a lighter, or a flint, in effect a flint, so you can actually use it to start if you are in a more actual camping type situation. Don't see myself camping, but I don't see myself not camping either. Yeah, well, you know, living in a van is sort of like urban camping, but I might get a lot less urban as I go, and then this will become more handy when I'm out in the sticks in the boondocks, which I hope my address is Boondocks 454 Sticks, Texas. It's Texas only because it's the closest thing to me. So I'm gonna be out in the boondocks and the sticks. Anyway, I want to give you a quick run at this. This is this, like I said, it's the backcountry shovel Fivejoy. This Fivejoy, this is not my first Fivejoy. I believe I have one in storage, but it was a very small one. In fact, this probably was about the length this one was before I added the additions in the middle that cost a bit more, you know. And it was great for a melody tactic. And the spade end on some of my shovels was like a third or two thirds of this. And since I was doing park type digs, you know, not anywhere where anybody could see it. I would do it in the bay, you know, in among the trees and things. I actually found a ring or two in that area, class ring in there. So it was pretty cool. I had a good time doing that. Hopefully I'll have good times doing other things as retirement beckons. All right, that's all I've got to show you, the backcountry shovel. And this is very heavy, so it is actually can be used somewhat weapon-like if you are in a situation where that's all you've got, especially if you use it with that configuration. All right, I'll talk to you later. You have a wonderful day.